Jon Jones just can't get it together. From his 2015 hit and run on a pregnant woman, to him getting charged for battery against his wife and screaming at the police to end him.
They call hang me, hurt me, and a black man can't drink, getting elected into the Hall of Fame, and now this is what I got.
Well, now he just got into more trouble, and for guess what? Another hit and run. And this situation just keeps getting crazier with new footage dropping and police phone calls getting leaked. Jon Jones is going from GOAT status to now being alleged for some crazy things. But how did this all start? During UFC Baku's post-fight press conference, Dana White randomly revealed Jon Jones has retired from the UFC.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired.
Everything would have been fine, but a couple hours after Dana's announcement, reports started to circulate that Jon Jones was being charged with another misdemeanor hit and run. On February 21st at 2:30 a.m., Albuquerque police received a phone call from a woman alleging that her friend, Jon Jones, had crashed her car and ran away from the scene. When police showed up, the person whose car was hit and the woman who was with Jon Jones were still waiting on the scene with their totaled car in the middle of the road.
Hello, sir. Are you driving?
No. My girlfriend was following me home and I saw apparently her friend.
And where's your friend right now?
This is my vehicle.
It's your vehicle, but where's your friend right now?
My friend left.
The driver ran a red.
Where does he go?
I don't know. He left. He ran.
You saw what happened?
Yeah, I saw what happened.
Alright, come over here, man. Hey, in the meantime, do you have someone to come pick you up, man?
No, but is the car drivable?
No, man. So, airbags are deployed, that's an automatic inoperable.
Okay.
So I gotta tow the vehicle, man.
The woman then admits that Jon was driving her car and he was intoxicated. She called Jon on the phone and handed the phone over to the police, where Jon allegedly begins to warn the officers by saying that he and his brothers will hurt them and that they've hurt people for much less.
Please talk to him. Please talk to him. This is a friend that's a friend of mine.
Hello, who am I speaking to? Me is PSA Lopez. And who am I speaking to?
What's your name?
PSA Lopez with the Albuquerque Police Department.
How many guys you guys I'll do with you?
Don't worry about that, man. Were you the one driving the vehicle?
My brothers attacked the dreams, assistants, and cell phones.
He was the one driving the vehicle.
They slit throats. They're the most evil people you'll ever meet.
That's Jon Jones.
Jon Jones?
Mm-hmm. He was the one driving the vehicle.
But they don't waste their cases with just petty crimes. But they definitely listen to conversations like this, and some of them word enough. Just you. And they teach me to be a man when I wake up.
So, listen to me, man. He's making threats, and if he's making threats, I gotta call an officer out here.
Call him.
Well, guess what, dude? You won't be the first guy this year that I there. It's my guy. You'll be the second one.
And who am I speaking to? Are you Jon Jones?
But if you're untraceable, you'll be surprised how bored we can be.
Jon then allegedly threatens the woman who is his passenger named Taylor by saying that if anything happens to him, she'll end up flat and
But then you take it out on Taylor. If something ever bad happened, just because you said, my brothers, they were way less.
Taylor then confirms to the police that Jon Jones was the driver and he was under the influence.
So, let me tell you, was he the one gonna
He
pick
was
you
the
up?
one driving.
And what's his name, man?
Jon Jones,
The fighter, or is this different?
the fighter. His birthday is...
Was he under the influence, man?
Yep.
Now, after all this surfaced, Jon Jones and his lawyer both released statements on the body cam footage that was released. Jon's lawyer wrote an official statement by saying, "As Jon's lawyer, I am stunned by the Albuquerque Police Department's decision to charge him in this new case. In the thousands of cases I've handled in my career, I've never seen a case as strange and unwarranted as this one. Jon was not driving that night. He wasn't in the car. It appears that an intoxicated woman used a false allegation against Jon to avoid being arrested for DWI, and the police fell for it. Based on the criminal complaint, it looks like they went as far as to seek a warrant for Jon's cell phone records while conducting a misdemeanor traffic investigation. I've never heard of such a thing. It's truly unbelievable that the police would waste this amount of resources on such a case. The only thing I could think of is that the police were targeting Jon for improper purposes. We will get to the bottom of it and make sure that this baseless case is dismissed." Then Jon wrote on X by saying, "Keep in mind, even the media can get it wrong sometimes if they don't have all the facts. Don't believe everything you read online. One thing we know about snakes, you let them hang around long enough, it's only a matter of time before you get bit. It's good to be real with the people that's known you for a long time. but it's okay to outgrow people. These are the reasons why. After all this went down, Albuquerque police released the official statements from both the woman Taylor and Jon Jones regarding the incident that night. Jon Jones' statement contradicted itself multiple times, and we'll break it down. First, Jon denies ever being in the car with a woman that night, but according to 3 witnesses, he was. Although they didn't say it was Jon himself, they all say that there was somebody who ran away from the car. This includes the man who was hit, the random bystander on the road, and Taylor, who was allegedly with him in the car.
She's alleging that you were driving her vehicle. Her name's Taylor.
I know Taylor. That is absolutely nuts of her. I have cameras in my house, and I was home the whole night.
Yeah, so and then there was some, she,
and it's really sad because I've known Taylor for over 10 years, and it's so sad that she resulted in doing that instead of, that's absolutely nuts. The person that she hit, wasn't it obvious that she was the only person on the scene?
The person that, I don't know. I didn't get to speak with her. They said they didn't see anything after they got hit.
Yeah, of course not.
And then
I flat out was not there.
Okay.
I swear on my children.
He also originally denied being on the phone with the officer, but then claimed that the quote-unquote officer that he spoke to sounded like a thug, so he was defensive.
She had the guy who she said was you on the phone, and then he made some like odd statements to a PSA and an officer who attempted to talk to this guy. Do you know anything about that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you remember getting a call from her that night?
Yeah, I got a call. I got a call from her, and I asked her like, who is this? And she's like, I was like, put me on the phone with the officer supposedly, and I'm like, hello, who is this? And he's like, who the is this, homie? And I was like, what? I was like, this is a police officer?
To your recollection, the only person you spoke with that alleged to be a police officer that night didn't sound like it was a police officer?
No, sir. He did not sound like a police officer. He sounded like a thug. He sounded like a thug.
That's weird. This doesn't sound like a thug to me.
He sounded like a thug. And I'm like, hello, who is this? And he's like, who the is this, homie?
Hello, who am I speaking to?
What's your last name, first name?
Me as PSA Lopez. And who am I speaking to?
He sounded like a thug. What's your name?
PSA Lopez.
He sounded like a thug.
Jon then admits to being drunk that night and also drinking with Taylor, but claims that she left his house randomly in the middle of the night under no condition to drive, and that's when she got into the accident and called him afterwards.
Yeah, I was really drunk that night. I was drunk that night. Taylor was drinking at my house. She left in the middle of the night. She definitely was in no condition to drive. She left in the middle of the night, and things were just really bizarre. I wasn't sure who else she was on the phone with. She was telling me, get over, get here, get to this address. And I was telling her, I've been drinking, and there's nothing I can do if you've gotten in a car accident. There's nothing I can do to help you. And then I said, hey, let me talk to a police officer. I said, stay calm, Taylor, stay calm. And then he goes, who the are you, homie? Or like, who the are you, dog? Then I said to him, are you a police officer? That's all I really remember. I'm over here, my heart's like pounding because I'm so shocked that someone that I've known for about 12 years, I've known her for so long, could do something like this. Like, how do you magically create a third person being in the scene?
Yeah.
Talk to the person that she hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The person that she hit had to have seen 2 people or 1.
Talk to the person she hit. Okay, let's see what they had to say.
My girlfriend was following me home, and I saw apparently her friend, the driver, ran a red.
Where did she go?
I don't know. He's left.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. But what's even more bizarre is what Taylor had to say about Jon Jones in her official statement. She says that she's been friends with Jon for 15 years, and things went wrong when she realized that she was being recorded unclothed in his home without her consent.
Yeah, so I was over at his house. He's been a friend of mine for about 15 years. I believe, to the best of my knowledge, he was recording me I think he has house cameras, but he doesn't ever tell me if they work or not. I've been friends with him for 15 years, so I don't know if they were working, but if they were, I definitely didn't have consent ever to be filmed. And if he's saying he has film, it's definitely of me. I was thinking back at this.
She then says that they were drinking and taking mushrooms together when she had an accident in the bathroom, and John had to drive her to get clothes.
And then he definitely had given me mushrooms that night. So after that, I honestly don't remember. I remember having like an accident in regards to the restroom, and that's why he was bringing me back to my house to get some clothes. And that's about it that I remember.
You know, you guys leave. Do you remember who was driving you?
The last thing I remember was it was him.
Okay. You said you last remember him driving you home?
I do. Mm-hmm.
She then accuses John of taking her clothes and keeping them as souvenirs. And meanwhile, he was showing off other women's clothing he kept, and that's what started the whole argument they had that day.
I remember asking where my pants were, and so it's funny because my mom thinks that he has kept a lot of my clothing for like souvenirs, which is weird, but I know him. He has a lot of mental issues, and I have had just numerous amounts of clothing just left there by chance.
Okay.
And I've never gotten them back. But by chance, he's also shown me like other female clothing that he's had. So that was kind of upsetting, and I think that's kind of what maybe started the argument that evening.
She then says that she has many photos and evidence showing John doing these types of things like passing out behind the wheel, and she said that she didn't even want to disclose these things about him, but he's refusing to help her out with her car and acting like she's the main problem.
I mean, I just have many and like I said, he's my friend of 15 years, but I have many photos of him doing these type of things, like pass out over the wheel, things I didn't ever want to disclose, but he's now acting like the worst friend possible, not to mention that he's got the resources to help me out of my situation with my car, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I am frustrated, but I definitely have things to back my accusations, if you will.
But it's important to note that she has no actual proof that he was behind the wheel that night besides the witnesses who couldn't make out exactly who it was driving.
Do you know or have any proof that he was driving that night?
I don't at all. There was a homeless man that witnessed the accident.
Yeah.
I don't know what he saw exactly.
Yeah, I watched the body cameras, and he just saw a man run from your car, but obviously it was dark and he couldn't make out who it was.
The only thing I remember is him telling me that he did see my friend, and that's the only thing that I could recall was that homeless man.
She then told the officers that she has all the text messages saved of John threatening the PSA and John threatening her.
And I have all of those text messages as well, that whatever he was threatening, he did threaten the PSA, and I do have all of the messages that he was sending me threatening, which I don't even understand what he was saying, but yeah.
So the real question is, did Jon Jones retire from the UFC because he knew that the Albuquerque police was about to file charges against him? It's definitely possible that his lawyer informed him early about the charges, and then John retired in order to avoid the public backlash to the UFC. Hopefully John can get his life together. It's been a long decade of trouble that seems to follow him everywhere he goes. If this video helped you keep up with the Jon Jones situation, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future.